The Galactic Historian team is coming to you this October 26th through the 29th for a 4-day U.S. event set in the picturesque Willamette Valley, a place known for its healing potential, nestled in the heart of beautiful wine country.
Hello, I'm Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. Join me and our incredible team of spiritual guides for an unforgettable experience at the Living the Mystical Life Daily 3 Conference in the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat.
Hello, I'm Laura Massey of Two Feathers Medicine. This event is a unique opportunity to connect deeply with yourself and a like-minded community as we embark on a journey of sacred self-mastery and living our mystical lives daily.
Hello, I'm Dale Tobin from Symmetry of Health. At this event, you'll get the opportunity to sample our innovative combined healing therapy for yourself, including the rare Lucia light and all the new ambisonic therapy chamber, a 3D sound experience designed to guide you into a deep state of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Hello, I'm Amy Kruzic from Universal Citizen Media. We're excited to bring you in-person presentations, live demonstrations, and immersive group healing experiences that will elevate your spiritual practice.
Day 1 and 2 will feature the highly anticipated Living the Mystical Life Daily Number 3 Conference, discovering new teachings, guided meditations, and captivating presentations by myself and our incredible team.
And days 3 and 4 will take you on a mystical journey without use of drugs or hallucinogens at the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat. Immerse yourself in guided healing journeys and a multidimensional sound experience.
Together, we'll dive deep into healing and self-discovery, utilizing state-of-the-art technologies and ancient wisdom.
And with the Manifest package, early bird tickets are available until July 31st, 2024 for just $2,000. Secure your spot today and enjoy exclusive bonus offers and additional perks.
Don't miss this incredible opportunity for growth and healing.
And meet us in person in the beautiful Willamette Valley.
And elevate your spiritual practice with all new teachings from the Galactic Historian team.
Join us in Oregon on October 26th through the 29th, 2024. Reserve your spot today and embark on a journey of transformation, connection, and mystical exploration.
The time of year for mentorship is coming in. Our new mentorship class will be beginning Friday, August the 16th for Level 1 students. Level 2 students, Friday, August the 23rd. And our continuing mentorship students will begin Saturday, August 4th. And we have a very special announcement. For those of you who would like to purchase the mentorship and the live event coming in October, we have a Together special where you will save $500 when you buy both of them. We have payment plans available also. You will be getting, as usual with our mentorship class, 8 hours of group teachings. That's 4 2-hour classes you meet every other week. You will also have 2 private sessions with me. For those that are in the level 1, we'll have 2 half-hour sessions with me. Those in the level 2 will have 2 45, and anybody in the ongoing mentorship will have 2 1-hour sessions with me. You can save these sessions, they're good for life, or you can use them during the mentorship journey. You will be able to come and share that community journey by coming to the event, having that community journey with the mentorship people, and I look forward to seeing you at the live mentorship at the event coming in October. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, I'd like to invite you to embark on this transformational workshop as you journey to become an ancestral medium. Are you ready to learn how to speak to the ancestors in a sacred way? Would you like to learn how to receive wisdom and teachings from your spirit team of elders? Join me as we learn how to set up ancestral communication. We also visit the ancestral hub of interconnectivity. We learn how to set up the Dreamer's Lodge among the soul family members. Also ancestral medium revocation soul surgery. We also connect to the grandmothers and grandfather collectives, plus many more ancestral teachings and techniques for you to connect to your guides and guardians. Join me on the 22nd of September, 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. East, as we journey to meet the ancestors. I look forward to seeing you on this journey, and to book, visit daletobin.com, and there's a contact form on there for you to book on. Thank you, and see you soon.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Talking Stick Show. So we have this show called The Sacred Fool. Are you the Sacred Fool? So I'm joined by the great Laura Massey.
Hi everybody.
And we have the Galactic historian on board with us, Andrew Bartzis.
Hello, Dale. Are you the sacred fool?
Full. Yes, I am. A lot throughout the weeks. And so a few days ago, I had a session with a gentleman, and what was coming through was this sacred fool energy about these kind of like hidden realms within, we hide from ourselves, about remembering how great we are, and we kind of get lost in these other realms. And there's parts of us which trick ourselves. We think we know the answer, then the next day we don't know the answer. The next day we do know the answer. So it was interesting that a lot of people have been experiencing the same type of energy. Andrew, is anything you want to expand on to that?
We all have fools inside us, and we all make fools of ourselves. It's a part of human interactive concepts. But understanding the fool and why it's there as a teacher is how we learn from it.
Laura Massey?
Yeah, well, to me, the sacred fool would be somebody, and it's been myself too, who you believe things that actually, you believe you've done the inner work, you believe you've done your due diligence and so on, and you convince yourself that, say, you've met your dragon or something like that, where in fact you haven't done the work that is needed to be equal to that level of mastery, say with a dragon. So you tell yourself you are, so you're playing the fool to yourself. And I've been there not having done enough work, and you think it's great, isn't this easy, forgetting that there's layers upon layers of alchemy and work to do, boot camp work.
Yes. So there was a moment as well last week, I believe I was on the phone to Andrew, and I had all of these things coming from spirit showing me potentials in the future and things I should be doing in this reality. And as I was saying it to Andrew, I had that full self moment, like, why the fuck aren't I doing it? And I had in a session yesterday, there was stuff what was coming in. I was like, I wasn't going to say it. Then this dragon came in and literally started shouting at me, say it, spirit saying it, say it. So I've even had my own full moments the last few weeks. where I've not been listening to some of what Spirit's been telling me, then understanding that we all have the responsibility when we get these messages from Spirit, when they are from Spirit, they're not from ourselves, fooling ourselves. It's what we go forward with and use the application of ourself, application of the sacred to actually do something, create a plan, innovate yourself out of where you are. And I know for a lot of people, it's kind of a bit crazy at the moment. A lot of shit's going on for a lot of people. And it's like, we're all fooling ourselves a lot at the moment. It's how we can, manage to find our way back to truth. What is truth? And so on.
So last week, I was listening to a TikTok show about UFO contactees. And a guy has been doing a show for a while. I'm not going to mention who it is. Interesting fellow, and some of his communications are spot on, and some I could say are questionable, but that's not the point. He was talking to other contactees, and this lady called in, and at first she sounded okay, talking about her experience and clearly going through an abduction process. But then she said, they put a baby in my body, and it's the baby of peace, and I'm to be the mother of peace. And then it just went downhill from there. And this guy tried to deal with her the best that he could, but she kept going, no, I'm the center of the attention. Without this one baby coming in, I can't have peace. And she believes she's pregnant she has a female partner. She's 57 years old. Okay. It just goes on and on and on. That is not the fool anymore. Okay. That is the ignorant in abuse of their ignorancy and abusing through narcissistic means of I'm the center of all attention. That is a full-on mental psychosis. People like that are beyond the fool. But we, as the same people, see them as a fool when in fact we shouldn't see them as a fool. We should see them for the truth of the injured and harmed being that they are, because this woman truly believes this stuff.
Is that a bit like people who think they're Jesus or Mary Magdalene?
Yep, similar to that.
Yeah.
Or they're the next, they had some type of angelic communication and instantly they think they're an angel. And unfortunately, human minds jump to that conclusion, even though that angelic contact was never meant to create that. That's why real angelic contacts only happen to those that are truly ready to potentially do something with it that doesn't take it off the rails.
Andrew, so wind back 2013, 12, there was a lady, I'm not going to say her name, but she lived in Costa Rica, and I had a session with her. And one of the first things she said to me, she was like, you're a work and you're an angel. You're an angelic soul. And I was like, I remember I went through that process after. It was like my brain was like trying to go away with it. And like, yeah, I am. But there was a moment where I was like, this is just absolute bullshit. So yeah, that was funny. I remember that one.
I think the sacred fool rushes to make the unknown known,
and thus uses and their expectation fills in the blanks.
Yes, I mean there's so many ways that you do that, and as I say, I've done it. You know, things in photos that you think are orbs that actually aren't orbs, and many things like that. But it is almost like a rites of passage to help you grow. So there's compassion there, isn't it, within us for the sacred fool, because it's part of our growth.
And then there are times where we must say this is not a sacred fool, like the lady that believed she was the savior of all humanity, and that her baby was the baby of all peace, and if she didn't give birth to this baby, peace would never happen and the world would end.
Yeah, that's
beyond the sacred fool.
And it's also treading on others' journeys, isn't it?
Yes, that's in the level of that woman's darkness, projecting on that show to share in that darkness.
Whereas a sacred fool, if you're just believing something, or it's only going to affect you generally, isn't it? It's just something.
No. There are plenty of sacred fools who affect millions at a time. Example, any BBC news reporter right now saying that Europe's not burning. the UK is not having issues. Okay.
Mm.
Same here in the United States politics. Those are all sacred fools.
So it's not necessarily somebody who's following a spiritual path then?
Correct.
Ah, okay.
And it's also about what we can learn from being fooled as well, because a lot of people have hard times being fooled, hard times where it triggers the shit out of them and they turn into anger instead of actually seeing the sacred fool as a teacher for them to allow them to.
Or they're fooled very easily.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Like the people with flat earth.
Yeah.
How are they fooled? How are people like? I know there's going to be a flat earther in there that's going to get upset. Okay? Okay. How are they being fooled? Okay? Because they want to reject reality and they go to the extremes, and a flat earth is a great way to just straight up reject reality.
Mm.
Okay?
And you can say that I'm not going bashing vegans at all, but that it happens a lot with the vegan industry as well. They completely they're completely fooled and they lose reality. And you try and give them an idea or some understanding about a plant is alive, so is an animal. You're eating the plant and the plant has feelings, emotions, and you try and explain that to them and they just will never see it.
No.
So guys, we've got the link in the show description. So if you'd like to come on and have a reading on this Sacred Fools show. And if you're in the Zoom room as well, please raise your hand. So you've got the reaction button, just go ahead and raise your hand and come on and have a reading with us. So yeah, Joel's just put in the chat what to do there. So we have Gabby, we're gonna give you the signal to unmute.
I'm unmuted now. Hello.
Hey Gabby, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm feeling like the greatest fool of all today.
Well, that's what we're looking
what
for.
happened? What happened?
But I'm so brave and I have so much social anxiety in me. But today is Fool's Day, so I can talk whatever I want.
So what makes you feeling like a fool today?
Because the last days I mean, I broke up with narcissistic people, but new narcissistic people came to me and they fooled me again with their greatness. And I was feeling drawn to them until I had enough and I just break up again with them. So I'm on my own now, and no narcissists are here again. So, but still, yeah.
So you essentially broke up with a narcissist, and then all of a sudden you broke up with a narcissist, a new narcissist showed up right afterwards.
Yes.
So
Right.
it's like a hotel that says no vacancy. So all of a sudden there's a little light on you that's saying narcissist needed to replace old one.
Yes.
And that's the sacred fool energy. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah.
So part of the journey for you here is to recognize what part of you is attracting that. What shadowy side of yourself wants those people to lead your life, because that's what narcissists want to do. They want to be the leader in your life and you to be their sidekick.
Maybe I want something going on, some dramatic dramatic events, some dramatic talks, some excitement.
Mhm. Could maybe some of your social anxiety attract a narcissist? That they fill in the blanks where you might have social anxiety and they talk for you?
Yes, that could be the case. Yes.
I would say that's a very big part of narcissism, is letting other people talk for you, which gives the narcissist room to take as much space as they want because you won't stop them.
That's right. Yeah.
What is it that has attracted you to the last person and now this person?
This was an interesting guy. He had a lot to talk.
What
So
made that person interesting?
dramatic, a refugee somehow from the war, and I was interested to hear that story. But yes.
Oh, so you went right away to the most broken person in the world.
Yes. Oh yes. It's very exciting. Everyone had to talk to, and yeah.
Do you ever feel you can fix them? Is that part of your energy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to help, of course.
So,
Okay. Go ahead.
Gabby, while you're speaking, it's like all I can hear is pain coming out your voice. And it's like you're radiating this pain frequency where you're constantly in pain and you're not actually allowing yourself to feel any type of freedom or relaxation in your reality. It's like you've hardened yourself so much and you've turned yourself on and your personality's gone to the side, and this suppression energy has come into you where it's like I'm suffocated, and this energy is attracting obviously those narcissists and all those different things you want. What is it like for you? Say, what has life been like for you? What do you do for work? What are some of your dreams? What do you want to do?
Well, I'm working in research and part of clinical work as a psychologist. I had very early trauma in childhood, and I think I've hardened all my feelings all my life until now. The last few years, something broke up. The surface was broken up. The trauma showed up, and now I can feel all what happened back then, but maybe it's too much. I feel like victim again, and I'm trying to protect. And I feel a lot of anxiety for me, and maybe I want to distract myself from my own problems with all the problems the narcissists are creating.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
You described literally what's attracting you to those people, the avoidance of your own inner core issues.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's why yeah.
My first suggestion is you have to practice socializing without dating.
What do I have to practice?
Socializing without dating.
Without dating. Yeah.
Yes. Be single. And
Yeah.
if somebody asks you out on a date, go, no, I don't want to go on a date. I just want to have friends.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Eventually you're gonna have your needs and desires, but your goal is to work on your social anxiety. That puts you in a position where you can talk with people without somebody leading the conversation for you. You could introduce yourself to people without somebody having to introduce you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, those core issues Those are lifelong issues, and there's no instant way to heal and cure them. You start by trying to generate some form of happiness through social interaction.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're using the narcissist to distract you from your own inner healing,
Yeah.
because their life sounds more exciting or feels more exciting. It is like a distraction away from yourself, isn't it?
Yes. I try to help the narcissists to draw me out of my love, and they give I send all the good vibes and until I'm fully empty. I feel empty after some time, and then I stop, and then I'm alone again, and then I can concentrate on my problems, right? So it's like a circle. So I must really fix my problems first.
Mm-hmm. And then come up with a checklist. No more refugees.
Yes.
Okay. There's the obvious stuff you stay away from. Okay. The obviously broken people. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. No more people with 5 divorces.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The really obvious stuff you got to put on a checklist. Okay.
Yeah.
And no more I can fix them.
Good. Yes.
That's the biggest part. When in fact you have to tell yourself it's not my job to fix them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
And
you. Sounds
it's
good.
so Gabby, it's your job to start fixing yourself slowly, bit by bit. And I've experienced a narcissist relationship in the past, and it left me with these parts of myself of loneliness. And those are the parts of yourself you have to explore and understand. They have connections to trauma, parts of your life. And I would highly recommend at some point of you to start purifying yourself and actually cleansing your body, even if it's sage or salt or just something you can start lifting some heavy energy from you. Do you do any prayer at all, or do any words of speaking to spirit or anything?
Yes, I practice some. So should I say I'm trying to get rid of my negativity by at least trying to connect with my higher guidance, and it works for some time. But yes, during the day, the negativity comes back, and my anxiety.
That's because all your energy is going outwards towards someone else and fixing someone else rather than retaining it for your own healing. Somewhere along the line, you made that person in that relationship's needs far more important than your own.
Yes, when I was in a relationship, it was just like that. Yes, but since
Also, your energy is fragile when you have to deal with your own issues. You have an energy in you that's very solid and can fulfill a narcissist, but when your energy meets yourself, you become fragile.
Yeah.
And you have to recognize the trigger inside you that makes you fragile to your own energies, your own traumas. And begin to tell yourself, I don't have to be fragile to myself. I've survived narcissists. I've survived traumas as a young child. I have hardness in me. And you have hardness in you.
Yeah.
You earned and learned it over and over again, but for some reason, you become fragile when you have to deal with your own unique subject matters.
Okay. I see. I've broken up with all narcissists now, so I can really do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you going to do then, Gabby? How are you going to tackle this?
I mean, today at work, I was trying to write up a presentation, and it seemed I had no ideas. So I judged myself. Oh, you never can make it. And so there's a lot of triggers, and I come into my negativity again. I just don't feel I'm enough in every area of life.
Have you thought about coming to our event in October?
I've been thinking about the event, yes, but not
No.
decided yet.
Well, there's a great community of people there for you to meet who are like-minded to you.
It's a soul family reunion, Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
You
People that have, yeah. Go ahead, Laura.
Yes, I was going to say, you bathing yourself in those energies would be a real nourishing thing for you to do as part of your journey forward into you. It's like you need to be your own empath, not for anybody else. It's starting to feel yourself and facing some of your feelings and tracing back where they've come from. And it's not an overnight thing.
Okay.
It's not an overnight fix, but it starts with, as you've done, letting go of the narcissists that are around you, and then feeling yourself in your own energy, loving you and doing all those things you would have done for somebody else for you, building up the you of the now. And then, yes, coming to an event like we're doing will start to cement some of those things into place for you.
Yes, I will think about it. Yeah.
So if you could do something for you, what would you do? It was just for you.
I'm trying to see myself as my own child, and my inner child is kind of very hurted, and it comes to my mind. Sometimes I must be careful. I have a very wounded inner child in me, and sometimes I just stop and I hate myself again, and it's just a process. It fluctuates.
It is, Andrew. Do you think for Gabby, loving herself at the moment before she does any inner child work?
So I think she has a tough time of actually loving herself versus faux loving herself.
Mm.
And there are times she can get away with faux love. And when she needs the real love from herself, she can do it, but it's hard to repeat many days in a row from the nature of the trauma that she went through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And faux love is just the 9-volt battery versus the 120 volt plugged into the wall. Okay. 9 volts only work for so long, and you can't live on 9-volt love. You need to access that love a few days in a row, but not break down after it and not being able to regenerate it for months. And that's why she looks for narcissists who can replace that energy that she can't regenerate. Because narcissists are high energy people. They keep you moving, they keep you going, they keep you from entering the depression, but they take over your lives and make you small in your own life. And that's why a lot of people are attracted to narcissists.
Mm-hmm. So what I want is love that is lasting. Yes.
From yourself, not from others.
Yeah.
And
you
using
tap into that field, tap into that field of self-love. That's real love and not the faux love.
Yeah. And this show up the sacred fool, the first word sacred, internalizing that your body is sacred again by speaking to it, telling it. And obviously you'll have the times where you'll get kicked out, but just have some sort of practice where you're telling the body you love yourself, you love this part, you love that part, and just seeing your body as a sacred as a sacred thing, a sacred vessel, whatever you want to call it, and start saying those words internally out, speaking out loud. I love you. Looking in the mirror, I love you. I'm here for you. I've made it this far. I've gone through all of this, and I'm still here standing today, standing and saying no. And I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to feel my power and start generating myself again. And at the times I go into depression, I allow my words to get me out of depression. Even at times, some words will not get you out of depression. That's fine. Just know the time will come where you will have a bit of extra energy to do it.
Mhm. So I start with the body first.
You've got to start with what you can make love out of first. Okay. Okay. It may not be the body at first. It may be some other aspect of yourself.
Yeah.
But you got to know the difference between the real love and the energy that's not so real.
Mhm. I accept myself and love myself as I am. And
You could say those words, but do you really believe it and feel it?
oh no.
Okay. And then do you believe it and feel it for 5-6 days in a row?
No, I don't believe myself. Mhm.
You really need to embody those words and really feel them within you. And once you start to embody them, you're retaining that as energy for yourself. That's what will make you stronger.
That's right.
As energy, yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
The old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You said that to me loads of times, Andrew, boss. Doesn't kill you, make you stronger. Are you dead?
Have you
Yes,
figured it
I
out
am
yet?
dead. Dead is the new living.
Exactly. How many times I message Dale, are you alive or are you dead?
I respond saying I'm dead, and he goes, good. Dead is the new living.
Dead is the new living.
Have you got any other questions, Gabby, at all?
I'm thinking, how can you feel this hard feeling for myself, that I have this hardened energy around me? So
You do have a hardened energy around you, but you're just very fragile to your own hardness.
uh-huh.
And you got to get hard to your hardness.
You mean I've put a shell around me?
Yes, that's so hard that you become fragile to it. You can't. It's like trying to use glass to penetrate a diamond. Because the hardness of a diamond is strong, and you're a fragile energy. You're not strong enough to penetrate your own hardness.
Okay.
But that's a lie. That's the sacred fool lie right there. You are soft energy can absolutely penetrate your hardness. That's what love does.
It melts it.
Melts it.
Okay. This sounds like a way I can love myself.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yes, for 4 to 5 days in a row. That's the big test for you. I know you could do it one day, but the next day you can't do it again.
That's
or
right.
2 days in a row, maybe. But after that, you're like, oh, 3 days? No, definitely not happening. Okay?
Yes.
And that means you've got to build up your endurance to give yourself love.
Mm-hmm.
That's the practice of self-healing and self-nurturing.
Yeah.
Not giving up on yourself.
That's right.
Okay.
Showing up for yourself every second of every minute of every day.
Yes. Very difficult. But I try the next 5 days.
Good.
Every second. Hopefully. And this
You can't that's the fool talking. You can't do it every second.
you can't do
You can
it.
try for 20 minutes at a time, take a break, try for 30 minutes at a time, take a break. Okay. Your endurance energies right now of loving yourself at, I would say at max 40 minutes of self-expression of love or if you run out of the fuel.
Okay.
Okay. Until you find something that converts the hardness into fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. And this hardness, you mean this is this not letting through anything, or
That's the traumatized you who has evolved over the years since you were abused. It got harder and harder and harder, and let less people in until the truth of your abuse was obscured by yourself.
okay. Yeah. This hardness means is directed against me,
By you.
by me.
Yes, by you.
Okay.
It's what you use to protect yourself emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I
Well,
try.
Gabby, yeah, good talking to you again. We've got to move on to the next caller.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
You're
Paul.
welcome,
Thanks,
Gabby.
Gabby.
For your help.
Bye-bye.
I hope to see you at the event.
Yes. Hope to see you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy now.
So for those in the Zoom room, if you want to come on and have a reading, just raise your hand. And for those listening on YouTube and Rumble, so the description, the link to come onto the Zoom room, you just click on it, come in and raise your hand, and you can have the chance to have a reading.
Click the reactions button.
Yes. So by clicking the reactions button, you raise your hand in the Zoom room chat. There we go. That was a good caller. So really, I love it how it all connects, you know, with the title and all the calls.
Exactly. That's the universe universing with us. So no, I don't see any hands up yet.
No.
We got a bunch of chicken shits.
Yeah, fooling
millennial chickens. A lot of the new listeners don't hear. I'm calling you chickens. Go ahead and raise your hand. The challenge of self-love. I was saying to Gabby, she can faux love herself, or what I called it, the 9-volt battery. What is 9 volts of love compared to plugging into the wall? How do you compare and contrast the two? What does 9 volts of love look like versus 120 volt continuous?
A dribble of water coming out of the tap compared to the tap fully turned on with a constant flow.
And your mouth very dry with sand.
Yes, yeah. Not even enough water to get a wetty whistle. What would you say, Laura? What was it like to you?
Yeah, as you said, but it's just a superficial covering, isn't it, that you're doing, rather than delving any deeper to find out where you need the healing.
Yeah. And if you've
it's
been
just
living
quick
on
fix.
And if you've been living on 9 volt love for years, and you convince yourself that that's all love can be, how can you get more love out of 9 volts? You can't. And that's hopelessness. That's great. And that's a hopelessness.
Well, that's where you turn to other people, to the narcissist particularly, to fill in those holes for you with whatever. And you get to the stage sometimes it's whatever form of so-called love they give you temporarily will help you fill those holes.
And this always comes down to self-responsibility of actually holding yourself accountable, going to the past and understanding where trauma came in, where the times you didn't receive love or something happened to you where you blocked yourself out from feeling yourself. And that's how important doing inner work is. Like my own self. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Why is it so hard for individuals to hold themselves accountable?
Right.
I stumped you.
Yeah.
I've got, wait. I've ruined.
The ego sometimes steps in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to the battery, the 9-volt battery, they've actually got not enough energy to do it, or they get lost in instant gratification, wanting to know the answer really quick, not realizing that spirit is about taking your time, understanding patience, integrity, and they just want the chocolate souffle straight away. They don't want to do any of the journeying and the looking really deeply within themselves and realizing all the need is within inside themselves. They're always looking externally.
And as soon as they tap into the 120 volts, they feel not worthy of spirit, and therefore they turn the tap off and go back to the drop.
Yes. And I've experienced that, like in especially face-to-face stuff, or even stuff online. People will have really, like when we did the Lucia light and the music and that James's place in Halifax, some of the people were fucking blown away by it, but you could tell it was the first time they ever experienced that type of frequency and love, and it kind of scares people a little bit, and they don't realize. So that makes sense what you're saying there.
Well, they get scared of their own potential potency, don't they? They don't know how to handle it or what to do with it. Scared of our own technology.
Or they go on down another path. They start abusing that energy on themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some people just, and this is me included as well, in the past and probably even now sometimes, it takes quite a lot sometimes to hold yourself accountable, because you really have to look within. You really have to face yourself. And sometimes that's hard if there's something there that needs healing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what the first set of steps are.
Well, part of it is being responsible.
They don't have an understanding of responsibility if they're that traumatized. And they have to learn and relearn responsibility, and the journey of holding yourself accountable to your responsibility.
Well, that's where so many
people get caught. They get caught in a vicious cycle. That's why worthy, unworthy, worthy, unworthy. You are not worthy, you're worthy. I'm not worthy, you're worthy. Until one of them wins out.
And as well, like you'll see, say someone who's gone through abuse, they'll have the energy to try and do something for a week, give them 2 weeks, and it's all over again, they give up. And you see that a lot. You see the inspiration there and parts of them wanting to change, but 2 weeks down the line, the programs take over. They're off the journey again. They're watching TV all the time, or they've gone back into, like, obviously the shaman's death, going back into the old shell step to feel secure, even though that security is a limitation of themselves, and they have to see that as a limitation instead of it's some place I feel safe in.
Well, if anybody wants to be a caller, and if you're listening on any of the platforms, there is a link in the chat room and in the show description that'll take you here to a Zoom room. We've got some people in the Zoom room who don't have their hands up. I see Annabella, you are here. Do you want to talk to us? Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Just press the react button. What you got to lose, Annabella?
Not cracking her. Nope.
No.
Definitely not cracking her. Nope.
Is she saying hey in the chat?
I don't know. I wasn't looking in the chat.
Yes, she is.
Oh, she's on. Well, Gabby's raised her hand again now. Yeah.
I'll bring Gabby back on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well-
So, Gabby, giving you unmute. Hello.
Hello again.
This
I
is the first time I've ever seen this happen.
I wanted to say something, to explain something about the self-love. I mean, if you're traumatized, early traumatized with your parents, and nobody was there to accept you, nobody was there to love you, nobody was there to say something good to you. So you're really deficient of the love. And when you grow up, it's normal that there is no love. And I think it's very hard for us who have not been loved by parents. And so
It's the hardest. It's the hardest energy,
yeah.
and it is the easiest also.
Mhm.
You have experienced love in your life.
I have experienced love.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
You've loved yourself enough to get to where you're at, haven't you?
Yes.
You've
Yes.
loved yourself enough to have a career, right?
Yes, that's
You've
true.
loved yourself enough to have a spiritual path, right?
Yes.
So it's not totally foreign to you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just old and ancient and forgotten.
Ancient and forgotten, yes. The all accepting love, even for the wounded parts, even for the fool's part, just for everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
another part for people who have been traumatized like the way you were, it's generating real love. Because love is every aspect of love that you feel is different moment to moment to moment. It's not a copy paste of the previous experience.
Yeah, I hope it increases over time. So
It does. We just limit it.
yeah.
Okay. Like inside you is a limiter. I shall not have more than this amount of love.
Okay.
Okay.
I try to
And
stop.
there's also a limiter. I only have this much love to give.
Really?
Love is not a commodity.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, the way you were forced to grow up, love was given and received as a commodity,
Okay.
like money. It was given and received like money. Love is not like money.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like it. But that's what you were forced into seeing it and believing it. Love was doled out to you or taken away from you.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the habit pattern to break.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just have a very nice aunt, and I didn't know her since the last years. And my relationship with the aunt just growed like she is my mother. And every time I meet her, it's like I'm with a parent now, a real parent. And it's like reparenting, and I think she's a big source of love for me.
Is she still alive?
Yes,
How far away does she live from you?
about 3 hours.
Well, put it on a regular time, but regular every 6-10 weeks, go visit her.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. That would be a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, or more than that.
Yeah, and some friends.
Yeah,
This is
friends.
a good source of love. I mean, it's coming external, but it helps me to accept myself more and all my woundedness.
Hmm. So how could you love your woundedness?
It's hard.
Yeah,
If
because it
I'm
doesn't
not,
want to be loved.
yeah,
It constantly rejects it.
yeah. If
Okay.
I'm doing not something right or not that efficient, immediately, yes,
So if you saw a hurt puppy on the street, would you go and help it?
when I will see a what?
A puppy dog hurt on the side of the
Happy, yes,
street.
I will love it. Sure. Yeah,
It's easy, right?
yeah, yeah.
Why is it so hard to do the same thing for yourself?
I must look like a puppy.
Okay.
I try to make the same nice eyes, the same face, like a puppy.
Mhm. Maybe you make some wounded puppy noises and see if that can get your body to react.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. Oh yeah. Okay, I will be away now for somebody else. And thank you for
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby.
thank you.
Cricket.
Cricket.
Girls.
Who is a fool? You're the fool. No, I'm the fool.
So Annabelle did respond in the chat. So do you want to come on and talk to us? Come on. You can come out of your shell. Annabelle.
This is Annabella.
Annabella. There we go.
Yes.
We have someone who's entered the Zoom room. Are they
Yay!
gonna? Okay, so are they gonna? Laurie, are you gonna raise your hand? We have one up for the challenge.
Come and talk to us.
No, she doesn't want to. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no,
No.
no.
No. Hmm.
Hello.
Here we go.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello, Lorianne.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
calling from.
Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
Cool.
Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Actually, I have a full body apparition photo that that was sent to me through my brother from a cousin. So I
Okay.
guess one of my cousins. But I was wondering if I can share it with you to get your thoughts on it.
Sure.
Yeah?
How
Okay.
do they do that? Right.
And the reason why you sent it to me is because my husband and I used to do ghost hunting with his brother, with Scott, my husband's brother, my brother-in-law.
Okay. Okay.
And he knew that we did that. And it's been a decade since we haven't done it, but he still sent me the picture. And I thought it was really cool. Can I send it to you in a chat
yes.
or?
So
Check
I
your video.
think you're going to have to email it or send it to somebody's device so that we can share it on the screen.
Okay.
Is it an oversized picture? Is it a cell phone picture?
It's from a security camera.
Okay. Hold on. Let me think.
So basically, he was hearing noises in his house, and he wasn't living at this house full time. He was going between two residences, and so he was putting a security camera in his house because he was hearing voices and seeing, things were moving and stuff like that. And then he put a security camera in his house, and he captured a really full body apparition. And
Okay.
I think he was wondering if it was his mom. But
All right.
I just
So,
wanted to know what you thought of it.
Dale, can you send her your email private? You can send it to her private, and then have her send the email to you, and then you can share it as the host.
Okay.
Where do you want me to, or how do
So
you
what
want
I'll
me
do,
to?
Lorianne, is I'm going to send you my email privately on the chat. So just have a
I
look.
see.
Then
Okay.
I'll download it. There you go. I've sent you it. So just send it over to the email, and I will link it up onto here.
How
Oh,
long ago
no,
did
hang on.
this? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So you send it to me,
Yeah, I'm going to
Lorianne.
send it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah. Cool, cool. Thank you.
The picture was sent to me about 2 years ago.
Okay.
1, 2.
Has anything else been happening at that property?
Just the continuous. No, they hear voices. They feel presence. Yeah.
Is it like trickstery energy or just a passive noise and voice?
They're saying passive.
Okay.
Yeah. Compose. I wasn't really close to this cousin. I was close to his mom.
Okay.
Hang on.
Have you sent it over yet, or is it just processing?
And I just sent it.
Yeah, cool. So what I'll do, I'll send it to Joel, because Joel's the host. He'll share it. So before we put this up, then tell us a little bit about yourself. Then, what do you do for a job?
I'm a NOC specialist, so I work in IT. Yeah, it's not the most exciting job, but I'm good at it. So I monitor telephony systems, and when alarms go off, the system sends our group a notification, and then we investigate to see if it's an alarm that we need to fix or just acknowledge, things like that.
Wow, that's a cool photo. That's really cool. I've just sent
Isn't
it to
it? I've never, that's like we've captured while doing our ghost hunts orbs, and we've shapes that kind of look like they could be a something, but nothing as defined as this photo, which is pretty phenomenal. He did send a couple of other pictures that were energy, just bright light, but this photo is really something else.
Joel's got it. He's just going to post it up.
Okay.
Well, why did you stop doing ghost hunting?
Well, it was initiated all through my brother-in-law, but we did a lot of really cool ghost hunts, and captured a lot of evidence for what we found. We experienced quite a few things. We seem to be a really good group, but we think that my sister-in-law was not comfortable with him doing it, and I don't think his daughter was comfortable with him doing it either, but we don't know for sure. He just called it quits.
Okay.
Yeah, because he loved it.
One day he was done with it.
Yeah. He even wrote a book before he did this. Yeah, and he gets lots of spiritual. I think he's really intuitive. Like when my father-in-law died, like almost a couple of days after he died, he appeared to him in his dream and told him to look at the hidden passages. Look at the highlighted passages. And I guess my father-in-law had life after death books, and like Seth Speaks and Many Masters, Many Lives, those books. And he had highlighted some passages in those books. And sure enough, when he went to look at the books and look through the pages, he found them. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
So when he stopped, you guys just broke up and stopped doing it?
Yeah, we did.
Would you ever go back? Would you ever go back into it without him?
I don't know. I think we were really consumed with our own lives, when the weekends, our son playing football, our daughter doing horseback riding, and we were always busy, and we just never thought about going back. But
are you still that busy?
No. Well, we hope not. Our son's no longer in football. He's hopefully going to go to school. And my daughter, she just graduated high school and she's going to do her own thing. So yeah, hopefully we'll get our own time once our daughter gets her license and we're not playing taxi all the time. And yeah,
maybe that's why this picture's come to you.
Oh, maybe, because my husband's really into it too. He finds it really fascinating.
I mean, it's nothing like a reinvigoration with a picture like. I can have a guess it's going to be, if Dale said it's amazing, it's going to be mind blowing. It came to you for a reason.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And you have a house that has regular activity in it. Okay.
Yeah.
You can equip yourself with a really, really good set of technology to do ghost hunting, like a body cam and an infrared a thermal camera for under $200, under $250. A really good thermal camera at that. Okay.
Yeah, I found that we were a good team. Just all of our energies combined. And then we used to know this other guy too. He's moved out east, but he used to be able to see auras, and so we had a pretty good group.
Remember the Blues Brother movie?
The Blues Brother movie?
Yeah, the Blues Brothers. So
I remember the Blues Brothers. I don't remember the movie.
You don't remember the movie?
I don't even think I watched the Blues Brothers.
You have. Oh my God, you have to watch that movie. Okay? They're getting the band back together. It's the big quote from the movie. You got to get the band back together.
Got to get the band back together.
That's right. You got a mission from God.
There we go.
Holy shit.
Wow. Yeah, you see the face. The face within the face.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what that is, it's a face looking in multiple directions at once. That's why it's looking like it's distorted. This is a distorted being from time. This is temporal distortion. Is that his mother? Did the mother live in that house?
Yes. It was her house, yeah. She passed of diabetes
Okay,
And
so
yeah.
it is her, but what you're seeing from the passive energies that are there are moments imprinted in time into the house, the various parts of the house that are looping from the past to his current present and into the future.
Oh,
So
I see.
moments of extreme joy, extreme sadness, any extreme plus an adjective will have a variety of imprints. Did she die in the house?
No.
Was she in a nursing home?
No, she was brought to hospital.
And died at the hospital?
Correct.
All right, so this is probably why you're seeing temporal distortion. When she was going through her life review, it was not an easy process for her to accept death, and she would revert back to the happy and extreme times to try to re-experience them and to re-spark life. But that just strengthened the life review moment. And the house has energy in it. Okay. She's not in pain. The first thing first. This is just part of the life review process. Goes to the moments we were anchored into time. High emotional moments we were anchored into time.
Okay. Yeah.
I really think if you guys wanted to, you could make this apparition appear on a regular, repeatable basis.
Oh, really?
It's that solid. Yes.
Wow. Oh. Huh. Maybe I should take a trip and go try. Yeah, because
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like travel to her house.
Yeah.
How
far away is it?
It's about a 6-hour drive, 5.5, 6-hour drive.
Okay, so
but it's right where my mom lives. So it's not like I never go there.
Even a better universal excuse. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm here for a few days, Mom.
The universe is universing here. Say, hey.
Yeah.
I do believe you could get this. You could get this to repeat.
Okay, well that would kind of be fun to try.
I don't think it would be hard. I don't think you really need a person that's highly psychic. You just need to know the space, how to set up the cameras. So if it's a repeating pattern, it's not very sentient because it's something that's stuck in a life review.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not going to respond to any questions and capturing
more than likely not from you, but from the sun, it could.
Okay.
Or another family member that was close.
Yeah, she was really close to my mom.
Okay, how does she feel about this stuff?
My mom, she's definitely not spooked out or scared about it. She's she thinks it's pretty neat, and she doesn't know, but the only thing that would maybe scare her a little bit is what if it's a demon?
Okay, natural fear.
Yeah. So
okay.
I personally, looking at it, thought it looked like my cousin. But I can't say for sure that it's not, like, because my mom was like, well, are you sure? Like, how can you be sure? I'm like, well, really, I can't. It's just how I feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I thought, when I hopped on, I was like, I'm going to ask about this picture because it's been on my mind a little bit. And so, yeah, that's a good idea. Trying to make a little project of it and go and see if we can make it reappear.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever used a tri-field meter in your ghost hunting exploration?
Tri-field. What does that do?
Tri-field. It measures electromagnetic spectrum.
No, we didn't. I know we used some sort of infrared device, but not the electromagnetic meter.
they're pretty cheap. These are just electricians' tools that measure electromagnetics in the spectrum in your local environment. So you just hold it up, and let's say you're an electrician and you're trying to find out if there's a wire behind the wall that has, concrete and wood in front of it. If there's a hot wire there, it'll tell you if it is or isn't. So ghosts can create an electrical field that can be sensed by these devices. Also, repeating patterns can do it too. Like if you know where the repetitive pattern is and you set a device up there and you put a clock and a timer on it, so when does the repeating field happen? Is it really strong on the full moons? Is it not strong on the full moons? What makes it strong? A lot of times the energies of the house itself are what will trigger the repeating pattern.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of environmental situations that you can tune into or help trigger it. Instead of infrared, look for a thermal camera. You could also get body cameras like the cops wear, very high level 4K ones, for $90 on Amazon now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and those things record absolutely everything, so you'll catch stuff in the EVPs, etc.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No,
Good
luck. I believe the universe is calling for you to have a new hobby or to reinvigorate the hobby. Okay.
Okay. All right. I get it. I'll take it and we'll run with it. And
we'll interview you on the show when you catch some good stuff.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Dale. Take it easy.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Cricket. Dale, did we lose you?
There we go. Sorry, I just mute because Meg was eating. So Meg was eating really loud, so I muted. Then I couldn't unmute until I asked Joel to unmute me. I was like, "Shit!" That's the dog. Mate, yeah. My dog was eating.
That's it. Blame the dog, Dale. Everyone, I have a lot of fun with Dale, and he has fun back with me. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you know how many Phallosaurus jokes he's made over the last year?
Definitely 4 figures, I think.
Yes.
So we have one person who has not put his hand up but is coming on. We have the one and only Bob Anderson, and he is on the iPhone, Joel. So if you could unmute the iPhone, and we'll have Bob on for a reading. Frequency, Bob.
And Jason Plum's in the audience too. Raise your hand and come on talk to us.
Hey.
Bob.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Bobinator, how's it going?
Hello. How are you all doing?
Good.
I feel a little bit broken today.
Broken? Why?
Just physical work. Just a full day of physical work, which I'm right at the end of this chapter. I just feel...
We're at the end of the physical chapter and you want to take on your energy chapter?
Yes, that is exactly it.
And what have you learned about your physical work chapter?
That I am not getting paid enough for what I am doing, and I'm just not appreciated enough. So I feel where I am at this present moment, I feel I've done quite a bit of work in the energy side. I'm still learning. I'm right at the beginning of my trade. I call it a trade. It's my new trade. And that's what it is. It's a trade. I've gone through so many trades in my life and apprenticeships, and this is another one. And I'm really excited about it. But I find I've got no passion left with this chapter of physical work. And let's say 20 years ago when I set up my plumbing and heating business, it was it was what I had to do because it was something I took responsibility for my own work. So I didn't rely on anybody else in my life. And that was a massive thing at that time for me to take on. So I was responsible for my work, my van, my money, my income, coming for family, for everything. And which was amazing. And the passion was there. And I built the business up. Obviously, I didn't expand. I was still only a one-man band, but I had good work. I earned good money. Nice things. And then now it's like it's died off, and it's like a progression that is like deteriorating, and then the other thing is building up now, and I feel it, and spirit's pushing me. And it's like I get all these little things, these little, what they're called, all these little things from my past are kind of coming into place, where I see why it's happened, the lessons in there. And yeah, massive. I would say I've had quite a bit of, call it an upgrade. I'd say I've had the veil's been lifted slightly with certain.
Bob, a question for you. What has Hull taught you?
It's full of demon holes. Love them.
Hull is where Bob lives, guys.
Yes,
just in case
a city in England.
Yeah, city in northern England.
Yeah.
Hull is full of demon holes, and I have had many lessons, and many demons around me where
many demon holes have fooled you.
Oh, they fool me, but not anymore. Well, they don't fool me anymore, but I had from them now. I would say I call it frequency, because you call me frequency, Bob. Let's just say I've changed my frequency, and I'm struggling to live here anymore. And that was
so
exactly
now you're high frequency, Bob.
Yes,
I'm higher frequency. That's it.
Exactly.
Higher.
You're not low frequency, Bob, anymore.
I'm higher. I'm higher than I was. I'm higher than I was. Yeah. Yes, and that's it. I feel that I am really, it's tough.
Okay, can you have a cry now?
No, I'm just gonna
just move on.
No,
Take it in, keep taking it in the just keep taking it in the ass.
Keep taking it in the ass.
I've got my daughter upstairs and I'm talking about stuff like this, and it's like she'll be thinking, what? Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. So it's like, obviously, I haven't spoke to her. And she's just me in the hall. So it's like
you're cutting out,
happened
Bob.
Like recently.
It's too high frequency for the phone.
Yeah, it's frequency not a match for his phone at the moment.
No, it's not.
Come back.
Mm-hmm.
What's
You're
happened?
back now. You're fading a little bit.
Right. I'm just in my setting up again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
We can hear you.
No?
Yes.
Right. Yes, so that's where I am at the moment. I'm excited. I am excited about my future. I do feel that be part of a good team, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to learn so many things. I'm going to do so much work with myself. I've started doing more work on myself, and I've learned some new techniques. Let's say, found my own little way of doing things, which is good, and that's the trust in yourself and not relying on other people. I'm listening to other people, but not relying, and doing my own work and finding my own way. Obviously, I listen to Dale because it's like we are quite in sync with each other. So he'll do some. Yes.
So going back maybe like 5-6 years. So when I did Reiki training, then I did angelic. Bob was one of the guys where I showed him Andrew's revocations, and that was it. Sent him a video and he was hooked. And he's from then, like, I've got to put my hat off for you, man. Like, you've done so well, and you've continued the practice, obviously, listening to Andrew's material, all of our stuff, and you've applied it to yourself, and you've not given up. And to have you at this point now where you're understanding, like Andrew says, you're a completely different frequency, and you understand that a big change is coming for you. And you know that change is going to allow you to go into the new heights and journey in a different way, where you're not allowing your land to hold you back, and the people who are there, the negative, I'd say, people, like we talked about on our first ever session, that was the first thing coming up for it, wasn't it? The friends around you, the people around you. I was like, Bob, you need to stop hanging around with them. Then throughout the years, you had that moment where you came through the system of the combined system, and we were telling you, but you weren't listening. Then you had the moment on the Lucia light on the mat by yourself, and you had that knowingness about what you needed to do, and the part of you which didn't listen. You came down a complete changed man.
Yes.
Do you remember that in your the system? Yeah.
That was like, I started listening, didn't I? And allowing allowing that healing to start. And yes, you're right about the friends. And it's not that. I think you're only ready when you are ready. And it's like, everyone can, this is what I found. People can say things to you and it sinks in. I mean, obviously we've used an example there. You've said loads of things. It could be like 2 years in the past, and then I'll get a light bulb moment and think, bing, that's that. And it's like happened then when it was supposed to happen. And it's only when you're ready, I feel, at that right moment that it works. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but with me,
you're right. And it's funny because that happened with Andrew, does that to me all the time, tells me something, and I don't. Then like months later, I'm doing it. He's like, I told you, dummy. Like, I'm like, yes. You finally listen. Your stubborn ass finally listened.
That's it.
So
Listen,
Bob, I want to give you a metaphor. So you worked in the trades, and you did a lot of work with replacing old boilers, right?
Yes.
All right. So think of a client coming to you who's got an old boiler, and it's going to be an expensive replacement. You are the client who's going to replace your boiler, and the new commitment, the new work is going to be the actual new boiler doing the work. But you've got a bill coming due for the new boiler. Okay, are you going to be a cranky client with yourself? A picky Karen? Okay. How many shitty clients did you get? Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, it's how you react to the boiler change and the crew doing the work until the new boiler turns on.
Right. So I'm the client now. Why?
You're the client in this metaphorical story of boiler replacement. You're the client about to hire a boiler person to replace the spiritual boiler in you.
Oh, I get you.
But it's another version of yourself is going to do the energy work. And when you come out the other side, you're that new person. Okay, but you got to see yourself as the client here. What do you got to do to pitch the sale to the client to open the checkbook up? That's you. You're the client.
Right.
How many times did you have to pitch a sale to the client? Yeah, it might explode on you in the next couple months.
Yeah, that was a good one. That usually works.
It usually works. Okay.
So
the reason I say this is you said your first words is I'm broken today. Okay. Your boiler's broken, right?
Yes.
Your boiler's broken.
Yeah. So I don't have to sell it. I don't have to sell it to myself. I do not have to sell it to myself. I know in my heart, and I know exactly on my authentic self, which I do try and tune into. I know that, yes, I've got resistance. There's resistance there. So that's the client. So as a client, I have got resistance because obviously I've got things to, I've got responsibilities for obviously my family, things like that. And there's going to be a big change and a big shift. I've had conversations with people in the family who need to know, where they're on board with it, which is a good thing because I know it's what's going to happen anyway. And they understand me and they understand that. So as me as a client, I am saying the right things to the right people and going in the right direction. So it's selling itself.
Is it really selling itself? So why are you broken today?
Why am I broken today? Because I'm still doing my physical work.
Because you've been called for emergency service. And you're doing a patchwork until the payment plan's done.
Till the payment. Yes.
You're patching today. You are fixing the broken boiler for the third time in a row.
Yes. I'm subbing.
Okay.
I'm subbing until the real work kicks in. I'm subbing. Subbing myself out. Subbing, subcontracting.
Yes, you're subcontracting. Exactly.
So Broken Bob is, it's a massive wake up today. I just thought my body can't handle this and I don't want to do it. And
you subbed it out.
Yes, I've subbed it out, but
okay.
I just need to prioritize at the moment jobs where I earn more money for less physical work, energy, less energy, and that's what I was getting good at. Today was a day which I had to just get some jobs out the way. I'd promised people I don't like letting people down, so I did them. I'm having troubles with vans at the moment. That's another chapter that I need a new start with a new van. That's in the old chapter. So all these things are just, I need to just work them out one by one.
Do you really need a new van if you're going to be leaving it?
A new van? Yes,
if you're going to be leaving that.
I like the crew cab. I like my van because it was for camping. It's good for it's got 6 seats. It's a nice drive. It's good for it can put bikes in for camping, for holidays. It just serves every purpose.
Is it replaceable, Bob? Can you get another van?
Yeah, it's going to cost me because everything's doubled. Everything's, so I'm going to get this one fixed first, and then it needs to be sold. Like Dale's car, this my van. It needs to be sold. I'm just like a little. I'm just like a. I think I'm just a like delay to what Dale's going through. I'm just like delayed. So his car went. Now my van's gone. It's like it's happening. It's a little delay.
We were like, we think our cars are cursed.
People have cursed in our cars. I use my dad's disabled badge. This is another thing. My dad had some disabled badges, and I was using them. Then it came through to me, you shouldn't be using them. And then I started thinking, I've cursed my van again. I know. This was it that was in the car. And I had him on the dashboard, and then I've hid him in the glove box. Things you think of. Bizarre, isn't it, really, to think that I've cursed. But I have cut them up now and I've thrown them away. I thought,
I think what you need to do, Bob, is write yourself a contract for replacing your own boiler.
Yes.
And then sign it. And then sign it. Go through the whole agreeing with yourself.
Yes. A new contract.
A
newer contract for a new chapter. Bob's boiler. Bob's inner boiler.
Bob's new boiler.
Bob's new boiler. Exactly.
Bob's new Nimbus 3000.
Hello.
With a better warranty.
Yes, absolutely. So, yes.
It's a big shift, Bob. Do you think some of this has happened at Lionsgate?
Massively.
Think they show things to you?
Yes, and after and before.
Yeah.
Massive shifts. I had loads of tension, That's why I went camping. I knew what was going to happen, so I took my daughter camping, and I thought I'd rather be in a field in a tent than all the chaos that was going on. It was the best thing for me. And that was quite a good time. But yeah, there was a lot of work. I did a lot of journaling when I was away. A bit of meditation. I did all sorts just to keep me grounded. That was the way I was. Everything was trying to unground me. So being on a field.
Your boiler was failing, and you were calling a subcontractor to fix the boiler every time it failed.
Yes. So it's it's a death of me, the death, yeah. The subcontractor. And obviously I'm still reigniting it all the time, but it's dying a death. So everything around that chapter is.
And winter is coming.
Go on, Laura.
Well, this is the shaman's death, isn't it, Andrew?
We're watching Game of Thrones actually again.
I'm going through a shaman's death.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is a shaman's death. It is a shaman's death.
Yeah, and you'll be tempted to pick up old shells and put them on again because they feel comfortable.
I've done this before.
At times.
This is a big one, though. This is a big.
Bob, you've got a womb.
Hello.
And you're birthing yourself.
Is it not? Is it cute? Is it a cute one?
No, that's an old shell you're picking up to feel comfortable in.
Yes. I have. I'm going to rebirth, isn't there? There's a definite rebirth. And yes, I mean, just working as a team and what we did, Dale, that day in Halifax, that was like really did. It really brought me on because I thought, wow, this is exactly what I want to do.
It showed you where you're going to, and it was a direction for you that this is where you're meant to be. Obviously, you saw the Rainbow Bridge, and we were on the Rainbow Bridge for a long time. We still are. We are now. But you saw the hub of interconnectivity, you saw everything, but nothing at the same time. And we had that moment. And obviously, and we spoke to Andrew and Laura after, and we had such an incredible chat about the future and what the symbiotic sound system and what it does. And yeah, you can really see it can unfold. Like,
I'm looking forward to that. Just some more of anything working with Joel, because I know I can just use myself as a vessel and just and absolutely amplify all these sounds and put them into someone's and put them into a make a tune, a melody, and connect into that person's signature frequency and obviously raise it and do all sorts of magic. And I don't know what it is, but it's there, and I know it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to that because that's what I want to be doing. So I'll follow my own intuitive side and listen and learn from the people who are around me, who know. And yeah, that's all this new stuff, all the things we're doing.
It's exciting. So when you were here, Bob, it was like a soul family reunion, wasn't it?
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Yeah,
the three of us living really comfortably together, going out in felt like the Scooby-Doo van.
It was great. It was good, wasn't it?
It was hippie
yeah.
Say that again, Andrew.
Your hippie commune.
Yes, my hippie commune. So this is what the event's going to feel like. Sorry, our event in Oregon, and Bob's coming to that. So it's going to be like a soul family reunion.
Yeah. So Bob, hold on to the line. We also have Jason calling in. Jason,
Yes.
are you?
Are you Am I unmuted? Do you guys hear?
Yes, Jason.
Hey,
you
what's
doing?
up, everybody? How's everyone doing?
How goes changing diapers?
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, I'm just sitting here tuning into Bob, and I'm like, yeah, man, shaman's death. Check. Changing diapers. It's my son. He's new to the world. He's 3 weeks old. I'll announce him to everyone.
Uh-huh.
Emery Lee. Emery Lee. Everyone.
Oh, welcome to the
Yeah.
world.
Congratulations.
But fully, yeah, the man I thought I was. It's funny he's bringing up construction too, because that was part of my shaman's death, was having to nest very like super expansion really fast. And I had contractors, I was subbing out jobs, and those jobs were happening, but they weren't happening, fast enough. I ended up getting very frustrated, feeling anxiety like I've never felt before, doing too much against the clock, wanting to make everything perfect. And those 3 months, I felt like, I'm looking back at the time spent with you guys in Scotland and just the camaraderie I felt over the years. And I just feel like the whole time I was becoming like anxious, it was like I was a different person, and I wasn't able to pray as much. When you've been away from exercise and you just pick something up and you're like, damn, I'm out of shape. It's like, oh my gosh. And I have felt pretty out of shape lately. But meanwhile, you have this incredible, source of energy, this super high frequency that's reminding you what, this is the feeling that you're after. And now I'm in this position where I just have to step and, start to reclaim
all that inner
some of
work you
those.
did. Remember all that inner work you did before you even ever thought your wife would get pregnant. Okay. You were doing without a pregnancy in the future. And now you get to see that inner work has paid off so that you could go through the journey of being fatherhood. Now, you're not going to sleep for the next year and a half, right?
Yeah, the sleep is, it's sporadic. I'm like half sleeping.
Every parent goes through it. Joe's our producer. He's been experiencing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not solar flares, babies.
Solar flares, babies, exactly.
Babies coming from the sun.
Okay. All that work is now paying off for the the changes that you made, that before the baby was born, you made those changes in yourself.
I feel that, and I remember that. But like Bob, I'm also maybe putting too much pressure, and like the Fool, if you're looking at all these things at the tarot card, if you're looking at this way, that way, and you're not actually like okay with everything, like, if you're not doing the Captain Obvious, you're going to get fooled. You're going to be looking and having expectations, and I feel like that's partly what I'm falling victim to as well. Is like, I expect to be able to sit by the fire and call my ancestors in the Mandela and get support right away. And it's like, no, I don't even, I'm not even like gonna reach out because I'm like rusty. Like,
and Jason, like going back to what Andrew was saying about you doing all that inner work so you could experience fatherhood, and that's something I experienced, was as I was doing the work, then experiencing and realizing part of me needed to let go of doing this, doing that, and just being in the moment and experiencing being a father is the best thing you can do. Just having those moments where you're going to remember forever, of the little one growing up, and that's where you should be. And the amount of growth you'll get from letting go and just being that father is going to give you tremendous growth. And it did for me, the best growth. Like the amount my children taught me about responsibility, letting go, not having to be do all the time, play with them and so on. It's magical. It's magical what they can teach you.
Yeah, I feel it. He's interacting at a very basic level right now. He's shitting and not shitting. That's weird too. Like he's like experiencing like some constipation like I did when I was a youth. Like he's 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks old. I'm like,
wait till you're in.
Don't take that trait from me. Like, don't. I'm like nervous. How do I get it? Yeah.
Jason, wait till you're into a year of shits. That's when you're like, right.
And then I'll be like,
I'm looking forward to them not shitting now.
No,
wait till you
it's such a beautiful thing.
Wait till you have the first fresh diaper you just changed.
I'm
blessed. They spit up on you.
I really am.
Say that again, Andrew.
With this
wait till you
life.
freshly change the diaper, they shit in it, and they spit up on you.
So, Jason, I've had a splash. So it's happened to me quite a few times where I thought they were clean, put the new diaper on, and I've grabbed them and slapped the diaper, and there's been a little hole, and it's slashed all up the back and on me. Like,
oh man,
the joys of parenthood.
Yes,
it's phenomenal. I want to plan ahead, but I do hear the wisdom in what you guys are all saying. It's like it's kind of the point, right? Be in the present moment of now, and hold that.
In the same metaphor, you have a second boiler, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's got a new family structure, but the old boiler is still a good boiler, okay? You just have to figure out, when winter comes, metaphorically, it's like what's next solely for the old boiler, and how do you integrate it to the whole household? Okay.
Yeah.
It just means your spiritual journey has been changed because the amount of time the child's going to require out of love for the child, not out of duty. Love first.
Uh-huh.
And you can call on the ancestors, Jason, because they're really good at fixing old boilers.
The old handyman's coming in.
Yeah, they've got all that old wisdom, all the old skills. So don't hesitate to talk to them. It's not always about ceremony. They're with you the whole time, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Just connect to them. Tell them what's wrong with the boiler.
Yes, man, it's nice to remember. I have my moments where I do, when I'm able to remember. But it was so mundane and monotonous for a while. It was just like, am I full normal now? Did I convert?
How did your wife handle the birth?
She was wonderful. She was phenomenal. We have many pictures. I can share some. She was like, we did an elective C-section due to her surgery last February.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was probably written in the stars.
Yeah. So she ended up having to have elected C-section, but again, we were used the hospital system. They were brilliant. Like the UPenn facility, I got to give them a shout out. They treated us so well, and she's been an absolutely phenomenal mother. Emery latched right away, so he's sucking on booby milk, and he's things are going really well, and she's being the mother who I always knew she could be, and it's just she's just proving it.
4 years ago, before the back surgery, she never thought she would get pregnant, did she?
No, she never thought I would impregnate her. And, we were both there. We were both like, we hinted at it, but something happened, when you both have to drop your egos, like just throw them down. And then you have this, relationship where you're working with unconditional love for one another. Then it was just like, oh, we just built a brand new foundation to a relationship where we know each other. Now we get to like work with each other's values and hell yeah, let's share this. Let's grow and create some.
How long after the back surgery did she get pregnant?
It was probably I would say October after the surgery. So February, and the whole next year we were pregnant in October of 23. So it was relatively quick, just months after that surgery.
That's the universe right there. You know that, right?
Yeah, it was. I think about that all the time, as there was something shifted in both of us, and I didn't ask too many questions, but I knew enough to appreciate.
I remember having a session with her before the surgery and talking about it, and all the worries and the fears that she had.
Yeah, and I was worried about her, and you were like, "Don't worry about her. She's fine."
Yeah, fine.
She's fine. And I was like, "All right, let's worry about myself." And we did. I spent time with you guys in Scotland, and that was like meeting the family. Happy birthday, Tina, if you're out there. Yeah, and that was like the last hurrah into what is into now, like that reservoir of like sacredness that I'm still going to in my mind, if not in practice, like daily practice, but it's there.
It's there for her. The old hurrahs are done, but new hurrahs will come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like when you send the child off to their first day of school.
Oh man.
Okay.
Jeez.
Or they go on their first date. Or they get their first DUI.
Jesus. You have to bail them out.
All this life for you to get a DUI at 16. Wait a second.
Oh man. Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy. He's just begun to smile. Huh.
That's gas.
Yeah, that's gas. It really was. But yeah, the fool's journey. It's funny. How are you all doing?
Doing good. How much longer is the ice cream store open for?
We're going to stretch it a little bit more this year. We're going to go into the fall, maybe into early November. Maybe do through the Halloween season, the Hallows Eve season. We'll see what happens.
How busy was your season this year?
We were terribly slow during March, but with time and the weather, it didn't want to work. Work didn't want to be happening for anything. I was being worn so thin, and the business was also responding that way. It was, very little money coming in because no one was coming out, and the deluge and everything it was bad. Then it picked up quite a bit during the heat waves of the summer, so it was nice to catch that balance. So,
and what would you say the overall travel season for the whole area? Was it a slow year, a fast year, a medium year?
I think it was probably a 3/4. There was quite a bit more people in town more often, and I think that's going to be a trend for this area. This whole area is going to probably become busier. It's the next area before one of the shore towns, which is completely full. So when something fills up like that, you can't live anywhere or stay for vacation. You're going to stay over the bridge in my town, and that's just the foreseeable future. Is going to be this infrastructure is going to change and become busier and busier. So I think we're going to play with staying.
So you're going to be opening a food truck.
Yeah, actually, that has been talked about.
What kind of food truck?
A food truck, if it would be super simple. I like food, as you know, and I think that the simple, like slow cooked meals for me are the most heavy hitting. Like my braised dishes are my favorite dishes. That you put certain ingredients, you put a certain amount of love and time, and maybe you have just a big pot of stew, and then you have some sourdough bread. You put it on stew with maybe homemade butter, and it's like, hey, here's home cooked this or that. But a very simple menu would be ideal. Like Bob was saying, you don't want to like work too hard, and you want the bang for the buck. So you're trying to hit that sweet spot.
That's the new big fad in food trucks is a food that has a lot of preparation effort into it before it ever gets to the food truck. And the food truck's just the assembly area, not really the cooking area.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I swore I would never open a restaurant because I grew up in the restaurant business. I'll dream as I slap myself in the hand really hard.
Right.
Okay? So if I were ever to do a food truck, there are two types of food that are really unique. And that's the Italian beef sandwich in Chicago. You ever have that?
With the au jus, the French dip.
Where you dip it, like the whole sandwich and everything is dipped into the juice.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the Chicago. So the traditional Chicago wet sandwich, which is the dip, and then something like the Turkish shaved meats or gyro meats. So it's two sandwiches of two different styles, but all takes food preparation time. Like the Chicago beef, you braise that meat in its juice for like 16 hours before you cut into it. Okay.
Right. That's your like daily thing is prepping a big roast.
Yeah. And you're prepping like 10, 12, 15 at a time for your truck. And then the gyro side is you're going to put it so it's right there in the window so people can see it and shave it off in the moment. Okay, which is its own next style. Or you could do a Turkish style. It doesn't have to be Greek in its style. It's just a vertical cook. Okay, and you can do chicken, you can do beef, you can do anything. And your homemade pitas, and the rest is just the salad toppings on top of it.
That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
With an easy, you find some kind of like deli grinder, make your process streamlined so that you can get stuff, sliced out, dip your assembly line.
Exactly.
And roll.
Simplistic. And then if I added a third thing to it, it would be something to do with pork belly.
Like
oh man. Or a pork belly sandwich. Because that's another thing. If you know how to cook pork belly, it's fucking to die for. Okay. And if I did
is he cutting out, guys, or is it me?
Say that again. I didn't hear what you said. Say it again.
You cut out. I was like, did Andrew cut out, or is it me?
No, I cut out.
The pork belly, like the bao buns, the Vietnamese little, bao sandwiches or something like that.
Well, I would make that an appetizer where they could buy it, but then I would do like braised pork belly tacos or braised pork belly burrito. Okay, and I could use the same.
I'm so hungry now you say that.
Then you could use the pita bread or the white bread for a sandwich loaf from the Italian beef. So you could really fill it up. So it'd be like a po' boy, except with pork belly in it.
Oh man, that sounds dangerous.
Yes. And if I added a vegetarian dish to the truck, which you easily could, it would be a ratatouille.
Nice.
Okay? Because you can really
right.
advanced, really flavorful. It's all about getting quality local vegetables and in bulk, and in slow cooking them, and with the sauce that you're going to make, and then it's either put it in a bowl or put it on a sandwich. Okay.
I imagine
those,
you could. Yeah. I see like like a tray. You could actually set that up beforehand and slow cook that, and wedge out trays and just be like,
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, if you get a really good local vegetarian veg source, all the toppings that go on the sandwiches are local raised, and you can use that as advertising. But most of that stuff is slow cooked. The vertically cooked spit thing. So there's a couple different ways to do it, which is traditional, which is actual chunks of meat thinly sliced, versus you ground everything up into a paste and then you make the cone out of it. Traditional gyros are just all the different, the lamb and the beef are ground together, and so it doesn't look like ground beef, it looks like a paste, but all the spices are flowing through it. Now what I do here is I make it in a Mason's jar, so I get half ground beef, a third ground beef, a third sausage, and a third unique ground spicy ground pork. And then I add the Greek spices into it, and I cook it in the Mason's jar at the water's just at a light simmer, and you seal the top of the Mason's jar. You put it in the water where the water's halfway up the Mason's jar, and in about an hour and 20 minutes, it'll be fully cooked inside. And then you just put a spoon in there and you shave out the pieces that you want.
Wow.
It's just perfect. Yeah. Mason's jar cooking is old school.
I think I cut out again, but I totally see that.
Yeah. I was saying Mason's jar cooking is
like having
really
a
old.
cone. Yeah. Right out of the mason jar. That's smart. That's nice.
Well, I wanted to learn that form of cooking. That's why I did it.
Yeah, you've got your spice distribution down. Like at that point, that would be the challenging part is getting it not to be too spicy. Just do you spice each individually before you put it in, or do you spice it all after it's like all the meats are in there?
Mm. 60% lamb, 40% ground beef. But I had to find a ground beef that was high in fat, not a low fat content ground beef.
Right.
Oh, and another thing I would do is bone marrow sandwiches, bone marrow burgers.
That is beautiful.
Have you guys ever
that's right in my wheelhouse.
Have you ever had a bone marrow burger?
I actually have. Yeah, I have. It was really good.
I put my bone marrow on my eggs. I put bone marrow on whatever I can put it in. After go
ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I have the bones, about 4-inch bones, and then I roast them, and I take the bone marrow with a spoon from that, and I apply that to whatever. And keep my bones to the side to make my bone broth.
Have you ever actually had a bone marrow burger?
Like a full, like bone marrow on a burger, or just
in the meat? It's in the meat. It's half bone marrow, half ground beef.
Oh my gosh, no, I haven't had that. But
when you're done with the show, Google it. It's a fad that took over around 2018. The very first time I had one was in 2019, and I bit into it, and it was like the best sex food I've ever had.
Gosh.
Blew my mind. My mind.
Me buckling like, oh, what just happened?
Yeah, like, and then I had the shakes afterwards. Okay.
Everyone's going to be doing it.
Yeah. I had the full-on shakes afterwards. It was undescribably good. Anyways, there's recipes out there where you can buy the bone marrow. You can make your own. It's not hard. Okay. And then you just grill it like a normal hamburger.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm gonna try that tonight.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Test that out.
That shit's awesome. That would be the other thing I would add to my food stock, a bone marrow burger.
And so good for you too, with the bone marrow, like added to it, right?
Well, it's actually in the ground beef. So you make a thick cut grind instead of the thin cut, and you just mix half ground beef, half marrow.
That's beautiful. That's like a super nutritious burger.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
That's
imagine
off
the
the charts.
flavors coming out of it, right?
Yeah.
On the grill, you got grill marks on it. You got that grill taste, and then the barrel marrow is right at the melty stage when it's blended with the meat, and it's not a liquidy burger at all.
It's just like imbued with bone marrow.
Imbued with bone marrow. Right.
I'd touch it with some rosemary too. Oh my gosh, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, mine basically came with a dash of salt and pepper, a dash of garlic powder, and I think maybe a little rosemary. Yeah. Just enough to hint in the background of flavoring.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for the inspiring. It opens up doors when I'm like, oh, okay. If I'm dreaming, what else is there to do? This is another avenue. That inspires me. That's a passion of mine, as you can tell. We're sitting here talking about food like fools on your fool show. Like, yes.
It was a call-in show, but now it's a food truck show. Good people, guys.
Yeah, but that's what would be in my food truck. Italian beef, gyro style, a vegetarian dish, pork belly, and bone marrow burgers.
I think it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have a look. Maybe I can serve you some when you guys come by.
Hell yeah! Have a bone marrow
burger. Absolutely. I'm still working on the place. Still working on that dream. It had to take a back seat to Emery, but
yeah, absolutely, absolutely did. It needed you. Your baby needed your 100,000% attention, and you for it.
Yeah, it was kind of hard, to let it go, but it had to. It needs to marinate.
Yep.
But yeah, guys.
Well, great talking to you, Jason. So we've come to the end of the show, brother. Great to speak to you and call in again.
Yeah. Likewise. I'm glad I made the time.
Talking to you, Jason. And Bob too.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys.
So, guys, we are at the end of the show. If you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, please drop a like, subscribe, a comment if you're watching in the future, how the show went for you. Andrew, how can people get a hold of you for sessions?
They go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. We have all the wonderful products, and we got our live event coming up in October. We have the 2-day event tickets up on sale now. So come join us at the Soul Family Reunion. Look forward to seeing you at the event.
Thank you, Andrew. Laura, how can people get a hold of you for sessions?
Website is twofeathersmedicine.com or laura2feathers@gmail.com.
Thank you. And if anybody would like any soul surgery sessions with myself, head over to daletobin.com and book there. Just want to say thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for the callers. And we will see you next week where we've got a special show with a lady called Nalini Diasera. And we'll be doing light language and all sorts of cool stuff. So thank you, everyone. Good night, good morning, wherever you are.